Okay, let's unpack this. The sheer speed of progress in AI is, frankly, pretty astonishing, isn't it?
It really is. Feels like breakthroughs are happening almost daily.
Yeah. So for this deep dive, we're focusing right in on the key stuff from the Google I/O 25 keynote.
Hmm.
Think of this as like your quick download on the essential bits, the latest AI innovations from Google.
And what's really striking is just the sheer scope of it all.
Right.
These aren't just small adjustments. We're seeing big leaps in what the models can do, totally new applications, even the hardware underneath it all.
Exactly. So our goal here is to kind of distill what really matters from this huge amount of information.
Get to the core of it.
Precisely. Prepare yourself because we're going to cover a lot. We're talking smarter models, futuristic research, and, fundamental changes to Google tools you probably use every day.
It's a lot to take in.
It is. But we'll keep it focused, efficient. The aim is you finish this with a really clear idea of the most important, most exciting developments. Let's get started.
Okay, let's begin right at the heart of it all. The AI models themselves, the Gemini family. The progress there has been quite remarkable.
How so? What are we seeing?
Well, take the ELO score. It's a key way to measure how smart these models are, right? It's jumped over 300 points since the first Gemini Pro.
Wow, 300 points. That's significant.
It's a huge jump. And it's not just a number. It means Gemini is actually better at understanding tricky stuff, solving complex problems, giving more accurate answers. It's just a much more powerful tool now.
And this is where it gets really interesting, I think. Gemini 2.5 Pro isn't just like a bit better. It's hitting top performance everywhere.
Exactly. Sweeping the El Marino leaderboard, every category.
Like an AI decathlete. Good at everything.
Pretty much. And it's not just general knowledge either. Coding is a big one.
Ah, yes, the coding side.
Gemini 2.5 Pro hit #1 on Web Dev Arena. That's 140 ELO points better than the last version. A big step up in understanding and writing code.
And developers are already feeling this, right? We heard Gemini's the fastest growing model on platforms like Cursor.
Yeah, producing hundreds of thousands of lines of accepted code per minute.
Per minute. That's a serious productivity boost.
It really is. And on a lighter note, maybe, they mentioned Gemini finished Pokemon Blue.
Huh. Seriously. Earned all the badges.
All 8 badges. Victory Road, beat the Elite Four, the champion. The works.
Okay, so besides proving AI can catch them all, what does that actually show?
Well, it sounds fun, but navigating a complex game like that, it shows strategy, memory, adapting on the fly.
Yeah.
Skills that are actually really important for, serious real-world stuff.
Right, makes sense. Artificial Pokemon intelligence, maybe.
Maybe. But all this brain power needs serious muscle behind it.
The infrastructure. Tell us about that.
Okay, so the key is Google's 7th Gen TPU, codename Ironwood.
TPU, Tensor Processing Unit, specialized hardware.
Exactly. Built just for this kind of heavy lifting AI needs. It's got 10 times the performance of the last gen. We're talking 42.5 exaflops per pod. It's immense.
42.5 exaflops. That's hard to even grasp.
Think of it as the engine allowing these models to process just vast amounts of data super quickly, do calculations that were just impossible before.
And this power isn't staying locked up in Google's labs?
No, that's the other big thing. It'll be available for Google Cloud customers later this year.
Yeah.
So wider access to this cutting-edge tech.
So pushing the boundaries, but also making it accessible. And they're watching the cost, too, it sounds like.
Absolutely. Even with these huge performance gains, Gemini models hold the top 3 spots on El Arena for output tokens per second.
While prices are coming down.
While prices are coming down. So clearly a strategy to deliver top AI that's also, economically sensible.
The adoption rate is just staggering, isn't it, those numbers? 9.7 trillion to 480 trillion monthly tokens processed in 1 year.
It's mind-boggling. It really shows how fast and wide AI is spreading through everything.
Yeah.
And developers are jumping into over 7 million using the Gemini API now. That's 5x growth.
Wow.
And Gemini use on Vertex AI, up more than 40 times since the last I/O.
And it's not just developers, regular users too, right? The Gemini app numbers are huge.
Over 400 million monthly active users. And people using the newer 2.5 models, they're using them even more.
How much more?
About a 45% increase in usage for 2.5 Pro users in the app. So people are clearly finding the extra capability useful.
Okay.
And then there's search, AI overviews. 1.5 billion people using them every month.
1.5 billion, making search basically the biggest generative AI platform out there.
Pretty much. And now they're rolling out AI mode to take that even further.
Right. So models getting smarter, adoption skyrocketing. Let's shift gears now to some of the really forward-looking research projects. First up, Google Beam. Sounds like sci-fi.
It really does. It's the next step for Project Starline. The goal, to basically change video calls completely.
By making them 3D.
Essentially, yes. Using an AI-first approach, it takes your normal 2D video and turns it into a realistic 3D experience in real time.
Okay, how does that actually work? Not just some fancy trick?
No. It uses 6 cameras to capture you from different angles. Then AI processes all that video, renders you on a special 3D light shield display.
Light field display.
Yeah. And the head tracking is incredibly precise. Down to the millimeter, 60 frames per second. It really creates this feeling of, like, being there.
Truly immersive. And this isn't just a lab experiment.
No, they're working with HP. Early devices will be available later this year for some customers, so it's moving toward actual use.
Very cool. Okay. Next, building on some of that Starline tech, real-time speech translation in Google Meet. That could break down huge barriers.
Exactly. It uses that underlying tech for translation right inside Meet. But what's really compelling is it's not just translating words.
What else?
It tries to keep the speaker's tone, their speech patterns, even their facial expressions. It makes the conversation feel much more natural, less robotic.
Wow, that's a big deal beyond just language. When can people use this?
English and Spanish translation is available now for subscribers. More languages coming soon, and enterprise support later this year. So hitting both personal and business use.
Got it. Next, Gemini Live, incorporating Project Astra. This feels like bringing that universal AI assistant idea closer.
That's the core idea, yeah. Gemini Live uses Astra's ability to understand what the camera sees and what's on your screen.
Yeah.
So you can talk to Gemini about anything you're looking at.
Right, opening up possibilities for real-time help with your surroundings.
Exactly.
Though, based on that video, early testers got some creative interpretations. Garbage trucks as convertibles.
Yeah, streetlights as buildings. Look, it shows the AI is learning fast with visual info, even if it gets things wrong sometimes.
True, a learning process.
Yeah.
And it's rolling out now.
Starting today, yeah. Rolling out to everyone on Android and iOS, so these capabilities become widely available.
Okay, now Project Mariner in agent mode in the Gemini app. This sounds like a fundamental shift from getting info to getting things done.
You hit the nail on the head. That's the key idea behind AI agents. Combining AI smarts with the ability to use digital tools, take actions for you.
Like using a web browser or software.
Exactly. Project Mariner has made big strides in enabling this computer use.
And this is moving from research to reality.
Absolutely. These computer use capabilities are now in the Gemini API for developers. Trusted partners are already building things.
And there are standards emerging for agents to work together.
Yeah, open agent-to-agent protocols, compatibility with things like Anthropic's MCP. It helps different AI services interact smoothly.
So how does this show up for everyday users? That's agent mode.
Precisely. Agent mode in the Gemini app uses Mariner and MCP to handle complex multi-step tasks, like that demo finding an apartment in Austin.
Right, with specific criteria.
Gemini could search listings, filter them using online tools, even schedule virtual tours for you.
That saves a ton of hassle. When's that coming?
An experimental version of agent mode is coming soon for subscribers.
Okay, something to look forward to. And a last research piece. Personalized context. Making Gemini understand your world better.
That's the idea, with your permission, of course,
Yeah.
and focus on privacy and control.
Always important.
Gemini could tap into relevant info across your Google apps to give more tailored help, like the personalized smart replies in Gmail example.
Yeah, the Utah road trip one was impressive. It wrote emails in your style.
By looking at your notes, past emails, documents,
Yeah,
it matched the tone, the phrasing.
that's pretty smart. When do we see more of this?
Personalized smart replies are rolling out in Gmail this summer for subscribers, and you can see the potential for this across search, docs, other products too.
Definitely. Okay, so we've hit some amazing research. Let's dive back into the core Gemini models themselves. Gemini 2.5 Pro sounds like it's their top dog now.
That's how they're positioning it, yeah. And the benchmarks back it up. The updated 2.5 Pro preview for devs isn't just topping Web Dev Arena and El Marina. It also integrates Learn LM, makes it really strong for education uses too.
And the efficient one, Gemini Flash. It got an update too.
Yep, the updated Flash's build is super efficient. It's actually second only to 2.5 Pro on El Marina right now.
So good performance and speed.
Exactly, a strong combo. General availability is expected early June, Pro soon after.
It's not just text though, is it? Audio seems like a big focus too.
Absolutely. The new text-to-speech previews, they support multiple speakers now, initially 2 voices.
Powered by native audio output.
Right. which allows for more expressive, nuanced conversation. It can even switch between, like, 24 languages seamlessly in the same audio.
That demo switching languages mid-sentence was wild. Security's always key, too. Any updates there?
Yep, Gemma 2.5 has better defenses against indirect prompt injections. They're calling it their most secure model yet.
Good to hear.
And they're adding thought summaries in the API in Vertex AI. Gives more transparency into how the model is thinking.
Transparency is definitely welcome. And efficiency, too, right? Making them easier for developers to use.
Correct. The updated 2.5 Flash is 22% more efficient. And they're adding thinking budgets to 2.5 Pro.
Thinking budgets, like we saw in Flash.
Exactly. Developers liked it. It lets you control the trade-off between cost and latency versus the quality of the answer.
Makes sense. The coding demos were really strong, turning a sketch into a 3D museum exhibit animation in AI Studio, without needing hardcore 3D math.
Yeah, that really showed off the power of multimodal AI for complex creative stuff. And adding spoken questions using native audio was a nice touch.
And Jules, the coding agent.
Now in public beta.
Mm-hmm.
Handled complex stuff like updating Node.js versions. In minutes. Integrates with GitHub.
Impressive. And Gemini Diffusion, a new kind of model.
It's an experimental text diffusion model. Looks promising for generating text faster and more accurately, especially for things like math and code.
How much faster?
They're claiming 5 times faster than 2.0 Flashlight while matching its coding skills, which is pretty significant if it holds up.
And finally, 2.5 Pro DeepThink. Sounds intense.
It is. It's a mode designed to push the model to its absolute limits on really hard problems.
Like those math competition benchmarks.
Exactly. US Ammo 2025, live code bench, getting top scores. It's with trusted testers now for safety checks.
So, a glimpse of future reasoning power.
Pretty much. It fits their bigger vision of Gemini becoming a world model, one that can plan, imagine, simulate things like they did with AlphaGo, StarCraft.
Right. And Genie 2 for 3D environments.
Yeah. Plus, Gemini Robotics, a specialized modder for teaching robots real-world tasks.
So the vision for the Gemini app is universal, personal, proactive AI assistant.
That's the goal. Like that Project Astra demo helping fix a bike, looking up manuals, finding videos, checking emails for parts, calling shops.
Okay, so models getting way smarter, faster, more versatile. Now let's pivot to Google search. AI overviews seem like a hit already.
They really are. 1.5 billion monthly users is huge. They're driving growth in relevant queries, plus big growth in visual search via Google Lens.
Lens is up 65% year over year.
Yeah, over 100 billion visual searches this year. AI overviews are a big part of that.
And for those wanting even more AI in search, there's the new AI mode. How's that different?
It's pitched as a total rethink. Built for longer, more complex questions, more back-and-forth follow-ups.
Available now.
There's a new tab in search in the US, starting today. And it's where their frontier models, starting with Gemini 2.5 this week, will land first in search.
What's the tech behind it? You mentioned query fan-out.
Right. So you ask a complex question. AI mode breaks it into subtopics. Then it fires off multiple searches across the web simultaneously.
So it pulls info from more places at once?
Exactly. Taps into the knowledge graph, shopping graph, real-time web results, all to build a richer answer, like a research team working for you.
Sounds like it does the heavy lifting. And more advanced stuff is coming in AI mode labs.
Yeah. Personalized suggestions based on your search history. Option to connect Gmail for personal context.
Like getting restaurant tips based on your preferences or events based on travel plans.
Exactly. And deep search within AI mode too. For really thorough answers, it runs dozens, maybe hundreds of searches, creates an expert-level report with links.
The analysis examples were cool too. Sports stats, financial questions, with charts and graphs.
Yeah, coming this summer.
Yeah.
Like having an AI analyst built into search.
And Project Mariner's agent abilities are coming to AI mode too, for tasks.
Right. Finding event tickets, making reservations, booking local services, directly from search.
Plus search live, using the camera.
Bringing Project Astra's live capabilities in. Point your camera at something, get real-time info, DIY help, homework questions.
Like identifying that strawberry or getting instructions for a science experiment.
Exactly.
And shopping gets a boost too.
Big time. Combines Google Images and the shopping graph that's over 50 billion products. Visual inspiration, personalized recommendations based on context.
Like finding a couch that works with your kids and decor.
Precisely. And that new virtual try-on feature. Using a custom AI model.
Yeah, showing how clothes would actually look on you, folds and all.
Advanced 3D shape understanding, and the agentic checkout tracking prices. Buying when it hits your target. More seamless shopping.
And Gemini 2.5 is powering both AI overviews and AI mode soon.
Custom version rolling out later this week. A big upgrade to the brain behind search.
Okay, search is getting a major AI infusion. Let's focus back on the Gemini app itself, becoming more personal, proactive, powerful.
That's the mantra. Expanding personal context is key, letting you share info from other Google apps with full user control for more tailored help.
Right. And proactive, like that physics exam example.
Yeah, Gemini anticipating your need for study help based on your calendar, materials, then offering personalized quizzes, videos, even using a cycling analogy because it knows your interests.
That's pretty clever. And people are already doing cool stuff with 2.5 Pro in the app.
Inventing games, building websites quickly, generating and editing images and video with VO.
Yeah. And 5 big new things rolling out in the app today. Let's run through them.
Okay. First, Gemini Live. More interactive, natural conversations, way more languages and countries, plus camera and screen sharing. Free!
Free!
Yeah.
Wow. And connecting to calendar, maps soon.
Yep. Second, deep research. Now you can upload your own files to guide the research.
Yeah.
Drive and Gmail integration coming later.
Useful. Third.
Canvas. Gemini's interactive space. Now it can turn reports into web pages, infographics, quizzes, even custom podcasts, like that Comet simulation demo.
Very cool.
Fourth, Gemini in Chrome. An assistant on your desktop that understands the web page you're on, helps compare reviews, things like that. Rolling out this week for subscribers in the US.
Okay. And finally.
Imagen 4, the latest image generator in the app. Richer colors, better details, better text rendering, much faster. Plus VO3.
The new video model.
The state-of-the-art. Better visuals, better physics understanding and native audio generation, sound effects, background sounds, dialogue.
So AI-generated video with AI-generated sound.
Exactly. Like those owl and badger examples or the person on the boat.
That's a huge update package for the Gemini app. Seems like it's really becoming that versatile AI companion. Now let's talk creative tools. Empowering creativity with generative AI seems like a big focus.
It definitely is. Tools like the Music AI Sandbox and Lyria 2 are generating pro-level music with vocals. Available now for enterprises, creators, musicians.
And dealing with the is it AI question, SimPAI.
Right. Big progress there. Embedding invisible watermarks, over 10 billion pieces watermarked already. And a new Synth ID detector for images, audio, text, video rolling out to testers. Responsibility is key.
Good to see. And that Darren Aronofsky collaboration using VO for filmmaking, Ancestra, looked stunning.
It really showcased VO's potential for visuals you just couldn't make normally. And they're adding features for filmmakers. Character consistency, style consistency, camera control within the prompt.
Tailored for filmmakers. And Flow, the new AI filmmaking tool.
Yeah, it combines VO, Imagen, Gemini, inspired by that creative flow state. Upload images, generate clips with prompts, extend footage, streamline the whole process.
Looks powerful. Finally, the new Google AI subscription plans.
2 main ones. Google AI Pro Global. Full suite of AI products, higher limits, special features. The Pro Gemini app.
And Ultra.
Google AI Ultra, US first. Highest limits, earliest access, gets you 2.5 Pro DeepThink, Flow with VO3, plus YouTube Premium, and more storage.
So tiers for different needs. Okay, last major area. AI meeting the physical world with Android XR feels like the next frontier for mobile.
Absolutely. Android is positioned as the platform for AI experiences. Gemini breakthroughs coming soon there.
And like accessing Gemini from the power button on watches, cars, TVs.
Exactly. And Android XR is the new platform built for headsets, glasses, a whole spectrum, collaborating with Samsung and Qualcomm.
The demos were strong. Gemini on Samsung's Project Muhan headset, infinite screens, teleporting in maps.
Yeah, interactive stuff within apps, too, like watching baseball while chatting with Gemini about stats. Muhan is coming later this year to buy.
And the glasses. Lighter, all-day wear.
That's the idea. Camera, mics, speakers, maybe an in-lens display, working with your phone for hands-free app access. A natural fit for AI.
The backstage demo looked slick. Real-time interaction, identifying things, getting directions.
Texting via Gemini, playing music from a photo,
Yeah.
3D map navigation.
Yeah.
Culminating in that photo op.
And the live translation demo, Hindi and Farsi translated to English on the glasses.
Risky, but it worked. Shows the potential. And they're extending the Samsung partnership to glasses, plus working with Gentle Monster and Warby Parker on stylish designs.
So fashion meets tech, developer access for glasses later this year.
That's the plan.
Wow. Okay, we have covered an incredible amount of ground. As we wrap up this deep dive, what are the big takeaways, the overarching themes? That AI counter hit 95, by the way.
Yeah, just a bit of fun. Look, the main theme is rapid, broad advancement. Foundational models, research pushing boundaries, search being reimagined, the Gemini app evolving, new creative power, and now extending into the physical world with XR. It all points to AI becoming deeply woven into our daily lives. And the consistent thread is making it more personal, more proactive, more powerful for you, the user.
And it's good they also highlighted AI for good, right? Beyond the cool features.
Absolutely. Things like FireSat for wildfire detection, Wings drone deliveries during disasters, powerful reminders of AI's potential for positive impact.
Addressing real challenges.
And the vision for the future, helpful robots, new disease treatments, quantum computers, autonomous vehicles. It paints an optimistic picture. Sundar Pichai's story about his dad in a Waymo, that really hits home the human impact.
It really does. Shows how far we've come and the potential ahead. So as we finish up this deep dive on IO 25 AI, what's a final thought for our listener to chew on?
Well, given this incredible pace of innovation we've just discussed, maybe take a moment to think. What new possibilities or maybe even challenges you see coming up really soon as AI gets baked into more of your daily life?
Mm.
How might it change how you create things, how you communicate, or even how you learn? Worth pondering, I think.
That's a fantastic point, something for all of us to think about. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive into Google I/O 25. We really hope you found this useful, maybe even a bit inspiring. We definitely encourage you to dig deeper into whatever sparked your curiosity most and consider how these changes might shape your own future.